So the Kadokawa Japanese anime company wants isekai anime to take over the world. As if it wasn't popular enough already, they wanted to just, to conquer, to take over the world of anime entertainment, basically. So, but that's not here what we're gonna talk about. Yeah, sure, isekai anime is great, but we're gonna talk about what Kadokawa is actually planning that's really gonna grind your gears. So let's go, guys, let's get into it. Hello guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that little bell right there so that you can get notifications every time I upload a video. Okay? Enjoy. What is up, guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix, and I talk about anime, I talk about manga, I talk about Japanese culture, geek culture, video games, mostly Square Enix, Final Fantasy RPG games. So, Kadokawa is anime producer wants isekai to take over the world because isekai is a very, very, very popular genre.
Where are you going, Brain?
Back to the cage to plan for tomorrow night.
Why? What are we gonna do tomorrow night?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
I mean, most popular animes are isekai. Spirited Away is an isekai, whether you like to believe it or not. Yasha is an isekai. It could be because isekai, basically isekai so simply means going into another world. So, and there's many ways to do that. If it's like Girls Bravo, where the guy, falls into a hot tub, like he falls into like what is it? He falls into hot water and goes into the world of all females. Things like that. Isekai, being thrown into another world. There's tons of isekai anime. It's like, I think that there's over like 100 titles, maybe more, maybe like, 200. I don't know. It exceeds, okay? It exceeds all other genres in how many isekais are there, and that includes things like Sword Art Online, where they go into a virtual world. That's considered an isekai. So, right, but what we're gonna talk about is what Kadokawa was planning to do with anime. I'm at Anime News Network right now, Anime News Network, and in case you don't know who Kadokawa is, the anime production company. Do you remember back in the summer when the president of Kadokawa apologized for his pro-censoring remarks? So the president of Kadokawa, Takeshi Natsuno, he said he wanted Japan to censor their manga and light novels for the West. I mean, blasphemy. And like about a day later, 2 days later, he had to eat his words. They forced him to apologize. And they also forced him, and they also decreased his salary, right? They decreased his salary, for God's sakes, for promoting censorship. For promoting censorship. I mean, go figure. Right? So, I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm going to get to the part. Basically, here it's all talking about isekai anime. But this is the part that really starts to grind my gears. So it says, Kiyohara is hoping that these types of light novel titles, isekai, which are also popular overseas, can serve as a springboard for the company's overseas activities. Kadokawa has been able to accomplish simultaneous global releases of its anime titles, but it also wants to be able to push its books and other forms of media effectively overseas as well. When the COVID-19 pandemic eventually ends, Kadokawa intends to aggressively approach the global market. Kikuchi noted that although Kadokawa ebooks saw tremendous growth in Japan, during COVID-19, the publisher is still just a dot in the overseas market, which indicates massive untapped potential. So they want to get into the overseas market. And you know what? I thought that they were already in the overseas market, weren't they? Right? Or maybe it's just that they haven't reached as many people as they like. In that case, it's understandable. But here's the part that really grinds my gears, right? Here's the part that really, it starts where you start scratching your head. It says, according to Kiyohara, the marketing for So I Am a Spider. So what? So it's an anime, which is this anime right here, right? It says, was successful because kadokawa was able to fulfill the common request from overseas marketing licensors, right? Permission to release information about the title at the same time as in Japan, access to a broad array of visual assets, and the ability to use them freely. Quick turnaround for approvals, outreach to the production staff. Another successful example was Combatants Will Be Dispatched, which involved multiple arms. Right, so basically, it's saying that one of the reasons why this anime was so successful was because of their marketing in the West, right? In America, North America, Europe, right? And also, it says here, which involve multiple arms of promotion, various companies such as Funimation, GX, Yen Press, Book Walker Global, right? Right, so it says, this is the part where, it says, despite changing regulations in China and their circumstances around COVID-19, Kiyohara says he is confident that kadokawa can maintain his goal to deliver 40 new anime in the next fiscal year. That's a lot of work. And here's the kicker. You ready? Overseas first is no longer just a slogan, but something we will be actively working towards, he said. Overseas first. What this means is that they're gonna start making anime with the foreign market in mind. So at first they said that they were gonna do censorship, but they do want to expand into the overseas. But they're gonna make anime for the overseas market first, with the overseas market in mind. And a lot of Japanese companies don't do that. They don't think about the overseas market. They make the anime for Japan first, with Japan in mind, and then they go to overseas. And then they think about the overseas, right? They think about America last. Overseas first. They are going. They're following the whole global agenda. And don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand me. What worries me is that they're going to start with what America has been pushing, which is, because what America is doing to pander to to the global audience is, number one, censorship. Number two, things like LGBT stuff. Basically wokeness. Basically wokeness and FMism, womanism, the F word, and all these other, I'm going to say, leftist ideologies that have been ruining entertainment, right? It's been ruining Western entertainment, but the Western entertainment companies keep pushing it. I'm really hoping that kadokawa does not fall for the same thing. They want to make anime for Westerners? Okay, great. But do not add any of those things. Any of the things that ruined Western entertainment, especially the comic book industry. Especially Western Hollywood movies nowadays. They're very woke. And it just ruins it. It ruins the whole thing because activism comes first. Activism comes to, so they'll put in a message about climate change and make that so important that it overshadows the freaking storyline. We're probably gonna see this in anime, in the next few years. Probably not as much as in the West, but because these Japanese companies are slowly, bending over and bending the knee to Western entertainment ideologies, it's probably gonna happen. Because it used to be that Japan was always like a strong gatekeeper. They did this on their terms, their way, right? But now it looks like, they're really bending the knee to the Western entertainment, Western ideologies, and I think it's because of the situation in Japan. like you know, the aging population, and a lot of people are not having kids, so they don't, so you know, so they see, it seems as though they're not gonna have, you know, enough Japanese customers in the future, so they're getting ready to, you know, push that over here to the west. I think that is why they're doing it. That's why they want to pander more to the west than to Japan from now on, because they make more money here in the west, especially with Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer made a lot of money with the movie and with merchandise. Demon Slayer made $1 billion in merchandise sales worldwide, especially in the west. So I don't blame them for making money. But Japan, kadokawa, I mean, I can't believe they went back on the word. So, hopefully they continue to do anime for the West, but in their terms. Keep it in their terms, and don't let any of these, you know, sketchy American business people try to like persuade them to do otherwise. What is up, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can receive new future notifications. Check out the blog at ndrtv.com. Follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts or anything you want to say right below this video in the comments below. This is Andy Matrix. Thank you for watching. Godspeed, everybody. Godspeed.